learning. And what does it mean? It means that our students are smart enough, and they didn't learn this in Computer Science 101, to go in and break out all of the codes. Well, we have a team in Tennessee that we allowed a jailbreak. Why? Let me share with you your first lesson in mobilization. Here's your iPad 1. Well, when Samsung, and by the way, I have your Samsungs right there, said with their new products, guess what we can do that will help education? We will allow you to use a stylus, and you can write on the screen. And I don't know about your faculty, everyone said, we want a Samsung. We want to be able to write on every app on the screen without having to go through an app. Are you all working with me? Well, you know we purchased thousands of iPad 1. And you remember with the iPad 1, you cannot mirror. In other words, what you see here on my iPad 1, it wasn't built where I can mirror from here to that big screen. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching this right now. I'm going to give it a little shake, and you'll see I'm able to write right on my screen without an app in that iPad 1. You all should be going, what? What? Yes. Cool. I love you. No, now, the reason why I gave you the introduction of being the 5th largest in the nation was a reason, not to brag. It's to call up Apple, Dell, Microsoft, and whoever, and say, guess what? We know in that iPad 1, you have features that will help teaching and learning. Will you please release those features? And that's how we advocate for these being tools. Aren't you all surprised? Yes. Aren't you all a little upset? Yes.
Are you going to tell us how?
Well, Apple is supposed to consider our request to go back and release those features in the iPad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and those to come. But it's something else you all need to know with this. There are some things that are illegal that I can't share with you, that the students have figured out. You ever heard of a hotspot? You know you pay for it, not your students. They have figured out, even in the iPad 1, there's a device, an app that you download for like in 30 seconds that will give you and turn your device into a hotspot. If you have Wi-Fi, it still turn it into a hotspot, and they don't pay anything. On behalf of the system, when I find out those types of strategies or features, then I'm obligated to call and say, hello, we have a problem, because that's going to impact on our network. Are you working with me here? Yeah. That didn't thrill you with a free hotspot? So again, are we ready? Oh, okay, then let's show them our strategic plan. No, you just go back, and if you push, against the middle, it'll come up, and then I'll help you out. Don't you just love this? It's nice. All right. Okay, and here it is. So very quickly, I'm going to test this out again, and they have me hooked up in different ways. And is this working? I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, let's turn it again this way. Let's see. And Judy, maybe so, maybe not. And maybe so, maybe not. Okay, Judy, it's your turn. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly, I'm going to go through slides. The number one game in addiction right now is Candy Crush. Some of you are playing it right now. You just can't help it. Here's our position. What is it about this technology that can hook us all on it, but we can't hook you on math or English or your program? What's going on here? So we try to look at all of this technology to say, wow, if I can be on Candy Crush and I can be on there 24 hours, let's see if we can apply that technology. It's just that simple. By the way, for those of you who are stuck on various levels, I have the URL for the cheat sheet right there to help you out. All right, Judy? So let's look at the changing workforce. And again, any of these videos you are free to use because we have used these and have feedback in terms of making a difference with professional development. Judy? Again, these are your latest statistics. And Judy, we're going to have you to stop right there. This is just to give you a flavor. And we're going to just click on it again. And we're going to go to our next slide. And again, we're going to go to, and now I'm going to share with you the impact of mobilization in a very non-traditional way. All right, Judy, if you would hit that, please. If you go right back to that, Judy, and it'll hit. Oh, she's doing fine, everyone. Mm-hmm. Here's your impact of mobilization.
Really?
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 Challenge for a phone to save us from our phones. New Windows Phone, designed to get you in and out and back to life.
And thank you, Judy. Let's go to the next slide. And hold on that. I don't have to say anything. It is a BlackBerry. That's right. If nothing else, BlackBerry should call Robbie and say thank you. Judy, the next one. And again, I have all of your data for you to save you time and energy about the global impact. And Judy, the next one. And the next one. I told you this was a flipped classroom. And the next one. And we're going to skip that one. But look at everybody. Should she not? No. Skip that one. All right. On behalf of John, and some of you met John, he presented us with the hype cycle for emerging technology. In other words, what's a fad, what's a tool, what's a toy? So again, we have all of that data for you. And the next one, Judy. And again, you'll see all of the various technologies up there, from cloud computing to wearable tech, on and on. Next one, Judy. And again, here's your Gartner top trends for 2013. Look at those mobile wars. And the next one, Judy. And the predictions we already know. And the next one, Judy. And the next one, Judy. And the next one, Judy. And the next one, Judy, don't you love it? And right there, check this out. Okay, that one, we can go with that one too, Judy.
Do you not want me to play this one?
It doesn't matter, go with that one. Like it's good.
Why is it coming on?
It will, okay, you can go back. And because that little thing is sticking up there, and we will go back to that. And we're gonna just click on it. And while you're ready, I'm gonna go and help Judy out. Oh no, Judy needs a little work out here. All right. But this will make a point. All right, here we go. I hope it's here. And let's. And see that little.
It's up there.
Yeah, so maybe if we click up there.
You can move the box up.
Yeah, let's move it.
Move the box up.
Oh, move the box. Okay.
Yeah, just move all the way up.
I didn't want to move the box. And now we're going right back. Now, again, remember I shared with you, things will work, things might not work. So we're going to go right back to that PowerPoint. Okay, because that's Tim's. And we're going to go back. And are you all ready? Sure. Now we're going to move that box again. And we're going to move that box way up here this time. Okay? And then you're just watching us now. And here we go. And now.
I'm delighted to share the serenity and joy of this.
All right, everybody get your mobile phones out. I need for you to hold up your phones.
You mind moving your enormous phone? You mean the enormously awesome Galaxy?
Anybody with a Galaxy?
Sure.
All right, Galaxy in the house.
Are you a little young to have an iPhone?
You know, where are my iPhones? Where are my iPhones? Okay.
Autocorrect this.
Is there an app with that? Search karate.
You think if they knew about the Nokia Lumia, they'd stop fighting all the time?
I don't know. I think they kind of like fighting.
Windows Phone Nokia Lumia 920 and Gadget's Reader's Choice Smartphone of the Year.
Next slide, Judy, because ladies and gentlemen, 6 months later. 6 months later. Hit it, Judy.
The 2007 call gets his favorite phone back.
How's this for a drum shot? Why aren't we getting closer?
With the Nokia Lumia 1020, we got the best seats in the house.
Let's get a group shot.
All right, everybody.
The Nokia Lumia 1020 with 41 megapixels and reinvented zoom. Nothing else comes close.
You know, every day I have more photos of.
Let's have a conversation. Here's the first one. 6 months later, same company. 6 months. I can't even get a PO through that quickly. Here's the new phone. And I'm here to share with you, there's another phone. How do you keep up with all of this? Or do you take the attitude like a lot of them, well, we won't. And we'll stick with our regular phones with the antenna, okay? I even have a bag phone. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share with you why you're here and why we are having this conversation. There are some things that these things can do, and we don't have a clue as educators. Why? Because our attitude is, no, we're still trying to decide if we need electricity in education. All of the other professions have jumped on this, and wait till you see. All right, Judy, hit it. And go up a little, and up a little, and just click on something, and she'll get together. And don't you just love it, Judy?
No,
I know you agree to be a facilitator.
That's your transmitter.
Energy, Quimby.
Yes.
What time is it?
8:29.
Thank you. It's all right.
This is 86 reporting into control.
How's it going?
I have an emergency situation.
Relay the information to headquarters.
Enterprise. Order wishes computer library records.
Jason, can you read me?
I read you. This is Secret Agent Rock Slash.
Okay, Cornell, let's make a little spectacle of ourselves. Anything particular in mind? There's only one man who can get us out of here in time. I'll be down right away. I'm on my way.
We're on our way.
On my way.
On my way.
All right, everybody look at me. I have an attitude about this. Let me share with you why we were kind of upset. That hit the TVs and our faculty members, where's IT? You know, you just go choke them. We want that phone. We want that phone. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why you are here, conversation. In order to use the Pebbles, you have to have a Samsung phone. In other words, you have to have 2 devices. Look at the cost of that. And you have to have both of them to work. I want you all to know, I have a phone right here. You don't need another device. It's a full phone, 4G and Android based, Jelly Bean 4. Why do they name these things? Jelly Beans 4.1, and it's a full phone. It's a camcorder. It has apps. I can call you. I can text, and it has a browser. I can bring up your website. I can stream from this. Oh yes, and here it is. And by the way, you do not see a company's name. And get ready, take that deep breath. It was under $200. Okay, when one of the big 3 purchased this company, you'll be paying $1,000. See, this technology is already out there. This was sent to me because I met a kind soul, and when they heard that Samsung was launching, they said, Robbie, here's a watch, and have fun with it. And when I was able to take this to our IT department and share, they were like, oh my God. By the way, I took it to AT&T because I needed the SIM card. And at first they said, no, can't put it in. Look at me. Yeah, you can. They put it in and they said, can we keep your phone for a couple of days? So again, what is the educational value of this? Number one, if we know that this type of technology is already out there and it's under $200, why in the world would we pay for a Samsung phone and then the watch? We're losing money. Anyone heard of the Entourage? Thank you. We invested in that. Oh, oops. That's why you see his head went like this? Because 2.5 years ago, that was supposed to be the tablet of all tablets that you never would have to buy another tablet again in your life. In 45 days, because we sent a check, and sometimes you have to be happy that it takes a while to process invoices. The company went belly up. We were going to purchase $30,000 of those tablets. So again, that's why we have a plan to say, wait a minute, all of these tablets are coming out every other day. We better check it out. So, Judy, switch, because now I get, and switch again, and switch again, and switch again. Don't you just love this, how we're going through all these parts, and switch again? This is just to give you a flavor. And again, and again, and okay, here's your data. And let's hit, you think you only have a phone. Let's hit that next one. Let me share with you before you hit that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me share what we have. All right. On behalf of education, we have your windows here. This has been one machine where the faculty members fell in love with it. For those in the STEM area, IT, they love this machine. This is your Windows 8. Now it's 8.1. You're able to transfer your Windows 7 file, and when you're ready, it turns into a tablet. Nope, this is the Ultrabook. Now, right away, I thought, oh, we're in trouble with this, because this is not going to stand up. So we have a destruction committee. We have a group of angry faculty members and staff members. Everyone has a role, everyone. And we give them new devices. And we say, take your anger out on it. So they take it and throw it against the wall, they stomp on it, they drop it in the water. Why? Because all of these devices are coming under our insurance replacement. Which means that if we buy a piece of equipment, where is that equipment? Where is it? Here it is right here. And everyone said, oh, that is so cool. We want one. Really? Well, here's your new keyboard, everyone. I don't want to blind you. I'll put it up here. This is your infrared keyboard. And you can't see it. If I put it up here, Tim, it's your turn to work. If you would hold this up so they can see it against the black. Our faculty members wanted that. And Tim, you might have to stand up.
There it is.
Oh, no. Okay, how did we lose Tim? Okay. Thank you, Tim. All right, everybody. So you never know it with technology. $300. It's junk. And see, that's why I don't work for a company. I can say whatever I want to. $300. Sometimes it was typed for you. Sometimes it was typed by itself. But again, how do we know? How do you all know? Or are you going to take the risk? So, thank you, Tim. You can turn that off. We also get into accessories. We have all types of accessories. Let me run through this. Anyone with an iPhone 4S, this is your lucky day. While I'm presenting, I'm going to have you to take it out of your case, and you're going to bring up some music that's appropriate for us. And because you are volunteering, when I called you up, you get to keep this.
Okay, but what is it? It looks like a mini iron.
Well, I called it a rubber ducky. Okay? By the way, these were only 50 cents. Over there to the left, 50 cents. Wow. I was at the airport 6 months ago. They were selling them for $9.25. This is big business, everyone. And as educators, we just sit back and let them dictate. No, I was smart enough to buy 1,000 of them. By the way, it worked so well, I asked them to do it for the iPad. These are speakers, by the way. Okay, I have your speakers here. I have your bling bling speaker. And some of you are as old as Robbie. You remember the 1950s, 60s, 70s? Our speakers were as tall as we were. Some of you know that. Okay, are you ready?
I have Eric Clapton for you.
Okay, bring it up here. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of education, this is why we look at all items, because we don't know if they will work or not. I'm going to have her to come here, and I want you to turn your iPhone as high as it can go. Remember, I have all sorts of speakers. I even have your jawbones up here. Hold it up. Let them listen to it. Don't you just love this?
I love it.
Now, if you would put it inside the rubber ducky, and you just take it, and this way, and, woo! Okay, they didn't get a thrill. No one even said it. Wow, okay? One more time. Here it is, as loud as it can go. And when you put it in this little rubber thing, who said that? Email me. Okay. Now, thank you very much, and you can have the rubber ducky.
Thank you. It's a little megaphone.
We asked the company on behalf of education, can you make one for the iPad? There's one company where I had 3 of them to say yes. One did, and it doesn't work at all. That's why you have to have a team. The other one, call me, and then you'll get the one that works. Very quickly, I have for you the Surface Pro 2. Well, what happened to the Surface Pro 1? I thought it was pretty good, didn't you? No? Okay, then that's why we have the 2. Okay. And again, that's why you need a team. Because this didn't thrill me. And it's a little heavy. And now this is why we're having this conversation. There's a keyboard that goes with the Surface. You saw the one where they clap together and they do the break dance? Well, it's not ADA compliant. Okay, one more time. I'll go and talk to this side of the room. Okay? We're a public institution. We cannot purchase items that are not ADA compliant for those students with disabilities. We got hit hard on the Kindle Fire first and second generation because when they came out, we all wanted one, and the keyboard and a lot of other features did not meet ADA compliant. Don't you want Tennessee sued before you?
Yes.
Thank you. You're very welcome, okay? Well, we were able to call up Kindle and talk with them. That's why they came out with the Kindle HD. Yeah, to help us all. Surface RT. Let's talk about that, everyone. How many purchased an RT? Some of you don't even know what an RT. I didn't know what an RT. I thought, wow, that's great. No. And then 6 months later, must be a cycle thing. They come out with the Surface Pro 1. We had already purchased over 100 RTs. You didn't know there was a Pro 1 coming. That's where we stepped in and said, no more of this. Well, fool us. We didn't know a 2 was coming. Well, guess what? We can anticipate a 3. So on behalf of our strategic plan, we purchased 20 of the latest and greatest devices. And we pass them out to IT, ADA, students, faculty, anybody in the system who would want to try them. Sometimes you can't find people in the system to try different things. So we have to look at our partners. Sometimes I get, work with me here, wake up. Sometimes I get free products. Yay. And app codes. Yeah. And the company will say to me, Robbie, we have these app codes and we want you to test these out for educational and workforce. And I always say to them, well, that's great, because it might work in Tennessee. Where are you from? Kansas. But it might not work in Kansas because they have a different wind shift. Are you all working with me here? Okay, no, you're not. All right, in the back, where are you from?
Here.
Okay, I get ready to say, where am I? Okay. It might work in Tennessee. It might work in
Kansas.
But it might not work in
Colorado.
And then you get free codes. Because then they'll say, okay, do you know anyone in Colorado, Texas, Michigan? Okay, you're working with me. Okay, so let's speed this up. So what I have here again, I have your latest and greatest. This is your Samsung. This is your Apple, all of your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Samsung. Anyone with an S4? Anyone with an S4?
I want it.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. They made a mistake. Yeah. Everyone. Samsung, and I have your tablets and your plablets, if that's the correct pronunciation. This is your big boy. Anyone with this? It's in between a tablet and a phone.
I'm right here.
Okay, he has a phone. Okay, all right, that's good. Well, the reason why you don't want the S4 and they have to come out with an S5 is because Samsung forgot to add a feature in where you can mirror off your phone to the big screen. And no one figured that out until I tried to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is big business, and we have to shape this. So, Judy, let's hit it. You think you have a phone? Let's hit it. Any of them. You're only going to do one. And tell me, watch my time. Okay, here we go. These are your professional drumsticks. On behalf of our faculty members, you're going to ask them to use these tools. On an iPad, yeah, these are professional. Yes. You want to try them out. You want to find out how do these work. These are your professional drumsticks. On behalf of Nashville Music Row. We couldn't even find faculty members to try these out. I had to go on the street and ask them, can you play the iPad with these professional drumsticks? It worked. Number 2, I have a professional pick. And guess what I have coming? Well, If you want to play the violin, you take your device, put it on your shoulder, and I have a bow. Ladies and gentlemen, I say to faculty members all the time, don't try to imitate, create. So, if you're going to paint, somewhere up here I have paint brushes for all of your tablets. The first ones came out, they look like bristle pads. I'm like, no, go back. I have all of your paint brushes. So for our faculty members, whatever you do, workforce, we have the tool. So, Judy, next slide. And the next one, that's all your data. You all know that. Next one. Let's hit it. What makes a smartphone smart?
What makes a smartphone smart? Well, the user, of course, and the right apps. Sure, your phone is great for calls and texts and photos and web surfing, but that's only scratching the surface. Your smartphone is a Swiss Army knife of ingenious tools. Now, I'm counting down the top 5 tools that score really high on the cool factor that I bet you haven't heard of. And when I say tools, I mean tools. Did you know that with the right apps, your smartphone is like your own personal handyman? iHandy Carpenter's a set of apps for the iPhone and Android. It's got a surface level, a plumb bob, a ruler, protractor, and a lot more.
It works.
Just hold your phone against a surface to measure the angle or to level it. You can measure lengths just by swiping your phone left or right. Trying to measure bigger objects or longer distances? Easy measure for iPhone and smart measure for Android. Use your camera and old-fashioned parallax to judge height and distance. With these apps, you can find the exact height of the Statue of Liberty or the exact distance to the pin on the 18th hole. Now, that's something I need. The second thing that you never knew that your smartphone could do? Well, how about beachcombing? I'm not kidding you. Maybe you can find a fortune in the sand. Your smartphone has a built-in magnetic sensor that it uses as a compass. This is mainly used for navigating, but a metal detector app can repurpose it to find magnetic metals like iron and steel. It won't work on non-magnetic metals like aluminum, but for coins on the beach, it works like a charm. Did you forget your reading glasses? Well, you won't need to squint if you have your smartphone. Apps like Magnify for Android or I Can See for iPhone can zoom in on tiny print. With one touch, you can also use it as a flashlight. Now, here's a pro tip for the ladies. You can use the front-facing camera to double-check your lip gloss if you don't have a mirror handy. Nice. The next time the DJ neglects to mention the title of that song that you love, you're not out of...
Ladies and gentlemen, I have for you out of the box. We have not tested this. I cannot give you information, but this device right here, and you see it right here, is the first device that you plug into your phone and your tablet that will detect odors and gases.
Oh,
Here it is right here. Remember, I oversee workforce development. When this came out, everyone said, oh, I can't. I want you to know it can. Not only that, I have odors coming. Did you sniff me back there? I have odors coming where you'll be able to hook in a little device that will pick up and send out various odors. Again, we don't know if these are toys, tools, or junk. But on behalf of law enforcement, we are testing out with our public safety this little device. You see it's still in the wrapper. I need someone to get drunk because we'll even give you the wine. Okay? Yeah. Well, this is your breath meter. So if you're drinking, you put this on your phone, you blow in it, and it will give you the reading if you are drunk. Now, at first, look at my face. I went, wow, I bet you. Well, we got a call from one of the car companies. I cannot share because I'm under disclosure, to say if we have this type of technology, wouldn't it be great if you could blow in it and then it interacts with your car and your car will not start? Well, let me share something else they laughed at. 3 years ago, when I got a call to say, do you have any of your medical faculty members that would like to test out blood pressure cuffs? for your phone, for your tablet. You talking about laughter. Oh, my husband, one on him, said, you know, you all just went too far with this mobilization. Well, on behalf of the willing faculty members, even at Chattanooga, they said, wait a minute. The number one problem with high blood pressure, and someone in this room has high blood pressure.
College administrators.
You need the EKG too.
We had a faculty who caused it.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, they laughed at me. But I had some willing faculty members in the medical staff to say, let's test this out. Because here's the data you will not find on the internet. Most people check their blood pressure at Walmart. Okay, yeah, okay, no one even made a word. That means you're checking your blood pressure at Walmart. Okay? It's not accurate. Or CVS, you stick your hand in that thing and hope for the best. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of mobilization, see you later, good luck.
I'll be
Thank
back.
you.
I just have to, my wife calls.
Tell her I got more devices for you. Okay, no, it's white person.
She's afraid of that, Robbie. She knows you too well.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, we tested this out for 3 years. We went into rural areas, look at your public services, and we even had international help. It made a difference. Let me share with you something personal. My husband, I hooked him up. And no, I didn't cause him to have blood pressure. But I knew because he kept saying headaches. Work with me, everyone. I put this on him, and it was 130 over 120. I just know anything over 100, I'll bow dead. And you know what he said to me? He said, see, I told you, that's just junk. You better be glad I love him, because I would have agreed with him. But I knew after 2 years of working with the faculty members on this, that he was in trouble. And it turned red. I want you to know he was at stroke level. I want you to know I took him to that hospital and they agreed. I want you to know he doesn't say that to me anymore. I want you to know you go to any pharmacy right now, you will see these devices, but these are outdated. You don't even need to plug in. They go by Bluetooth. Again, we test these things out to see if they're worth it. Let me talk to you about Walmart. Everyone knows now this is old technology, the square. You know I still can't get a business department within my system, hint, to say, what is the impact of this little thing right here that now you see in taxi cabs? You see even out there, you want to buy something, you take your card, swipe it, and this is what you all need to know if you don't learn anything else in this workshop. It's cheaper to use this versus when you go to your merchant and they use that regular one. One more time. Yeah. It's cheaper. But I need data. I need people from that business department to say, let's test all of this. What's the impact of all of this? So, Tim, are you keeping me on time? Tim. So, as we move into the education sector, everyone, I want you to know we buy everything. These are your latest lenses for your iPhone, iPad, where you turn whatever you have into a microscope, telescope. Over here, get ready to laugh. Here's a little device you put on even your Androids or Apple, whatever. And if you have dry skin, look at me. You rub it on your skin, and it comes back to let you know if you need moisturizer or water.
Oh my God. Don't you just know that?
Yeah, you can see the flakes coming off. All right, we're now at the mobile. Here is something that when we got 4 years ago, I looked and said, what is this? And they said, this is an Elmo. Elmo, you mean that big thing that you, yeah, document camera. I want you all to know this has been one of the cost savings for our system that have saved us $500,000. You look at all your classrooms, look at all your Elmos. Not only is it portable, it plugs into a PC and a Mac, and you can use it for Skype, on and on. You can use it in the field, only $60. Okay, one more time.
You got the card?
Yep, but don't you want to know if it works or not?
Well, I think if you've done it, we're working.
Yeah, but you know, and by the way, you all have to lighten up if you're going to work with technology. That's something else you all have to. Y'all have to learn how to laugh. Does it work? Well, you have to remember, I'm in menopause. It might not. Laugh about it. Everyone, here it is right here. But here's the problem. In order to use this, you have to use this. Now, can you imagine me going out in the field with both of these? It's not going to work. So on behalf of you all, I said to the company, we need something more portable. I want you to know, 2 months ago, they now have this device that hooks into here that you use with your iPad or your Android. And now you can go out in the field very light and life is good. Moving on very quickly. I love this. Here's your projector. 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 Now, we test out all projectors. I have projector here coming off the iPhone. Okay, everyone, you want a device that will work with all mobile devices. There it is. I'm scared to go past this microphone. You see, it's okay. Let's put it this way. It's cool. Yes, don't waste your money. Projector. Projector. No bugs. HDMI and USB. And I found out through the grapevine it might be Bluetooth. And let's see what we got. Tim, close your eyes. And here we go. And we got all lights on back there. This one is unbelievable. Works with all devices, costing under $269. Life is good. Brookstone. Brookstone. Moving on very quickly before I blind someone. Judy, let's hit it. And leap motion. Ladies and gentlemen, I have leap motion up here. That's where you are able to control your computer in the air. But we'll wait for time. No, Judy, we get that one. I had to go to my best one. Opportunities and risk of mobilization. We'll talk about that. Let's go to the next.
What did you do before you had access to it?
Yeah, forget him. Forget mobile marketing. And forget that. And now, hit it, Judy.
That's not going to work.
And you want to see this. And it's going to move up. And don't worry, Judy, it'll get there. And we just click back on it. Just click. And there it is. And there it was. Okay. And there it is. And there it is. Check this out.
Kids love a good bedtime story, and now they'll love it even more. Choose a story from their PJs. Capture the code, and that's it. It's simple, and it's fun for everyone. Every child will be excited to go to bed. Smart PJs. Let's share a story together.
Help me understand. Okay? How is it device and you wave it over your little tiny tot and it sings little lullabies. It reads little stories. I want to come in with teaching clothes. Okay? I want to walk down the hall and let them wave on me. Get a couple of math problems out there. Or whatever. But I'm here to share with you, Judy. Now, this is where Robbie takes over. Tim, watch that time. Where I'm going to share with you a feature that saved us millions of dollars. At this point, Judy, you can have a. Oh, okay, Judy, you can turn it off. No, you can have a seat now. I'm gonna. Okay, I know you. I saw them here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to look at the pedagogy and best practices of teaching with mobile. When we started with the iPad 1, you had to stand up like Judy at the podium, and you couldn't move around. That's not good teaching. So, Apple TV. Ooh, wow, we were so happy, but ooh, wow, did it cost us a lot of money, and ooh, wow, did IT just go crazy on us, okay? And you know they lost the remote control. Without that remote control, it's dead in the water.
Why did they give it? They didn't even give them to us.
They
They
didn't?
didn't lose them. They didn't give them to us.
Well, you were really out in deep water.
You don't know why IT. They think they work for NSA.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right, I'm coming over here and stand by it. See, that's what I can do with mobile devices. See, if I was up there,
They got this long
oh,
list of subversion activities.
oh yeah, see? Because in a classroom, and we're going to use this as a teachable moment, see, I have to leave that podium and come stand on him and say on behalf of IT, yeah, they better worry because I can take the system down. Well, let me share with you all what happened very quickly. We're using Apple TV. Apple TV costs $99. Plus, you have to have an HDMI projector. 99% of our projectors in Tennessee are not HDMI. So you need a converter. Converter costs $40. And you need IT to set up and go through that little, who used Apple TV in here? You know that you have to be clicking through that little thing. You know we never find the right one. Well, on behalf of MERLOT, in which I was at a meeting, Tim, don't repeat this to Jerry, and we have app wars when we're not paying attention, like, playing Candy Crush. Work with me over here. And someone said, I got something that will make you leave this room. I have a $4 solution, 1, 2, 3, 4, where you can walk around your classroom and you don't have to use Apple TV. You can use your old projector and you just use a laptop, desktop, PC, Mac, it doesn't matter. I said, yeah, right. They said, watch me. Ladies and gentlemen, I am using Air Server. And Judy, if you would click off my PowerPoint, here's my iPad. And by the way, I can use it with iPad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the rest of them they come up with. Just click off and just turn off that PowerPoint. They're tired of it anyway. We are ready to rock and roll. Tim, watch that time for me. All right, and just turn it off. Just go up to that PowerPoint, quit it. All right, and let's see if Robbie can rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my iPad. That's my iPad up there. I'm talking about a $4 solution. One-time cost. That didn't thrill you?
Yeah.
No, it's not an app. It's an application. All right.
What was the app?
Okay, it's not an app. It's an application. Go to Google, type in Air Server. And they'll even give you a 7-day free trial without your credit card.
For $4.
Yeah, you'll see that for education, $12 you get 3 licenses to put on any laptop, desktop, whatever. And that's it. You use your same network. In fact, it's going to get better. I want someone to say, well, what about security?
Yeah, use multicasting. Same thing Apple TV does.
Look, same thing. Watch me. I'm going to bring up an app. Oh, watch me. I'm an appologist now, so you know I'm going to bring you up. The app for the STEM, by the way, here's our strategic plan. Any app that our faculty members can document to say, we would like to try it because we think that this will impact teaching and learning, we purchase. Okay, one more time. We purchase. And all they have to do is use it and give us feedback. Well, that was real nice when apps were only 99 cents. I just recently paid for an app for $189. Oh, when you want to know what that app works? Because unlike Androids, where are my Android people? You don't get to test out apps in the Apple store. It's like you buy, you crack. Okay? Well, I don't want the faculty members to take chances like this. Everyone, look at this app. This app has been proven to change the way we teach and learn. Unbelievable. But watch me now. As an appologist, I want more. Why can't we do experiments? So on behalf of this company, they said, okay. They kept working, and they kept. Then I got really crazy. I said, what about, because there's a 3D tablet coming out, I want you all to understand that, holograms are coming. Robbie's had her hands on it. I said, wouldn't it be nice if that would come out of the tablet? Well, if you put your 3D glasses on, it will. Let me share with you the dynamic of some apps that somebody will say, Robbie, I need that app. And the first person to say, Robbie, I need that app, you email me and I'll give you the code. Get ready. Don't you just about this?
Yes.
On behalf of students with disabilities, this is my #1 app. Someone sent me this app 2 o'clock in the morning. 3 years ago, I am a special educator by training and by love. I can sign right now. Look at this app. On this app, all you do is tap, type in what you say, and John, I named him that. He instantly signs. That's a miracle. Now, of course, watch educator. Will this take away professional signers? No. If he signs wrong, we're not going to complain. We're going to call them, and they're going to fix it. But this is a miracle. Well, that wasn't enough. On behalf of iPad, 3, 4, mini, 5, iPhones, 4S, 5. And now what's with the C and the S? C for cheap, S for you better have some money saved up. Okay, I'm tired. It's fine, okay? Well, I called and I said, wouldn't it be nice if you didn't have to type it all? Well, if you look at your iPhones, iPads, if you have a 3, 4, 5, 5S, S, and S, B, C, whatever, you'll see a microphone. You see that microphone down there? That means if you touch it, you speak, John will sign. That's a miracle. That didn't thrill you off?
Robbie, I need that app.
Okay, you're the first one. Okay, make sure you get my email and bug me. It might take you 2, 3 times, but say you owe me that app. It's called Sign, the number 4, me. Here's another app. Get ready. This should be like a game show. This app is the one. By the way, we sent a faculty member to Paris. Okay, all right, one more time.
I need that app.
All right, anyone, excuse me, sir, I'm right here next to you. May I use your little program? Anything printed, whether it's on the wall or in your program, you hold it over and it will instantly translate into Spanish if I turn it the right way or upside down. You get the gist of this. Instantly translate. Look at there. That didn't thrill anybody? Somebody didn't put their hand up and say, I want that.
I want to compare it.
What's that called?
Word.
Señorita.
Word. W-O-R-D. Lens. L-E-N-S. Tim, watch that time. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Wearable Tech. You see that, Tennessee? And no one complained. Are we playing tomorrow?
Yes.
Thank you. Are we going to win tomorrow? Don't answer that. Ladies and gentlemen, your students are going to come in with wearable technology. On behalf of Tennessee, not Kansas, not Colorado, not Alaska, we're going to zap. This is called Zappar. And you see, they have many. And what? And what? And let's try zap again. And with let's try, I need some internet. And we're going to try again. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you just have to go out and try it again. And then you hit it again. And you pray that it works. And when it doesn't work, you just put that one down, and then you look for that other one right here. By the way, here's your mini iPad. Why did they make the mini? Well, I talked about them. By the way, I'm an Apple Distinguished Educator. I called them up. Why we got the mini? I love the mini. However, the new iPad, which is the new Air iPad, is lighter than the mini. So let's zap this over here, and let's see if we're on. And then you'll see what I'm talking about. And this is again called Zapware. And let's see if we're going here. And then we just wait. And then we hit, and now watch what we found out by default. Let me do this right now. Air server. I'm going to air server on here. And it didn't work. And there it is. Well, what's supposed to work is where you can have two iPads showing at the same time. Aren't you going to ask me about security? Aren't some of you trying to jump in on my air server right now?
No, I don't have it on.
We'll pretend. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah, we called the company up and we told the company we needed a password on here. So this is password protected, and now we're going to zap, and then Tim is going to get ready to speak. Tim, we want this to work, and now it looks like it's working. We're going to go to NCAA, and NCAA, and NCAA, and NCAA. And we're going to Tennessee, because we're zapping Tennessee, and now we are ready to zap, and here we go. All right, and I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to turn it around. Don't worry.
I want that one.
You're in Alaska.
I know, but I got AR stuff up there. It would be so cool if I could have a shirt that we can do AR with.
I have something better, and then I'm done, Tim. On behalf of wherever I'm at. No, so you stand up here. She wanted something. You cannot find this yet at the App Store. I'm working with this company. This is called Pocket Anatomy, and this is what this will do. And if I can get back on, and Tim, don't you move, right there. You're going to see me go back on. You're going to see me take back over, and you're going to see me get back on there. And did it come back on? Yes, no, maybe. And no, yes, maybe it's tired. Yes, no. When it doesn't work, what do you do? And let's turn this little one off over here. But what I have here is where you are able to cut out different body parts. And here it is. And here's what I'm giving you as soon as it's low. And okay, and there it is. It's coming off that paper. You like that? It took me like 2 minutes to get sweating up here, and now the heart is beating. So as I end, yes, I will give you this one, and then I'll share with you the app. Tim, are you ready? You really ready, Tim? On behalf of Teacher Education, I leave you with this. This is a free app, everyone. We worked with this company. Sorry about that. Let me bring it up. And this is for early childhood classroom management or your own kids. And what would you do? Well, you have options. And again, this one has it built in. Let's give it some candy. Let them go wild. And it shares with you what happens. And let them tear up your home. So again, I stop here. I thank you all very much.
What was that one called?
Behavior breakthrough. So, all right, Tim, it's on you. Life is good. Oh, no, I don't clap. I got asked for that. I clap for myself, whole 9 yards. Life is good. And Tim is going to switch over. And now you have learned a whole lot about mobilization. Hey, didn't we have fun? Hey, remember, I'm retiring in 2 years.
After my short bit, Robbie has more cool, killer educational apps he'll share and something that you have time called Nearpod.
Oh, yes.
She's been saving to the end.
I'll share with them right now. Nearpod will take over your classroom. As an instructor, I walk in. Nearpod is free right now, and I'm able to say to you all, Nearpod, Nearpod. I walk in with my mobile device. I say, students, take out your mobile device of choice, whether it's a laptop, Android, BlackBerry, Blueberry, and I take over your screen. Did you hear that? I take over your screen. I'm able to send you video, clicker, polling. You can take a test. You can draw. It lets me see instantly what everyone has performed, and it gives me instant feedback and track. All right, Kim, it's on you.
Okay. Me using a Mac here. Those of you who grew up when I did during the Cold War, I kind of feel like I did a couple years ago when I was walking through Red Square. It's okay to be here, but something's just not right. Anyway, I work with MERLOT. MERLOT TBR is a partner within MERLOT. And now with this mobile initiative, MERLOT is very much a partner with TBR in what she's doing. And briefly, here's what we want to talk about today. The demand, if you're going to implement mobile learning on your campus, where's the demand and how do you establish it? What are the challenges? Robbie, I think, has created some excitement among you. Maybe I can create a sense of panic in that if we're going to do this, boy, there's some things we need to think about. Are we going to dabble? Or are we going to take the plunge and make this happen? And also, when you look at Robbie, when you look at some of the other models they did, why the heck can't we? So how do we move forward? There's all my the numbers again, and this came from Gartner. So you know that. And we're talking tablets, not smartphones. Tablets. How many of you folks here have one device, hitting wireless? Have a phone with you? How many have two? How many have three? Where's my IT guy? That's probably why he left the room. Can you imagine with a price point of $300 to $400 for my Lenovo tablet for the Fire? 90% of your students are going to have this and hit your network infrastructure. Better get ready. Absorb that. And it will never change. When they get to school, when they get to high school, when they get to us, they're not going to want to read from textbooks because we want them to. This is happening. This is what we need to. When I do my OER presentation and we talk about e-text and this sort of thing, we did a survey. 90% of our students don't want that today. Tomorrow it's going to be different. So you need to be looking down the road. Have you heard of this term?
No.
Well, it's not this. It is this. This is natural coming out of a study in Britain. My point here is this is the culture. And as you know, education, we're not first to the party. We follow. This is happening around us. This is something that we've got to be a part of. And it's not necessarily an asynchronous environment. This works perfectly well in class. Work with me here. Come into a class. Maybe it's a journalism class or current events. How about online voting? Is that a good idea? Okay. Break you into 4 groups. You all go off. And you're going to come back with 10 minutes left in the class to present. So one of you goes to a site called Museum, where they have 700 plus newspapers from around the world, and you do a search on the idea of electronic voting. Because I bet Texas is going to be a little bit different than New Jersey and how they approach that. Somebody else goes to YouTube to find some videos and news items on it. Then the students come back in a little group, use a site called Join Me, where they share electronically what they have, and then use a site whose name escapes me, but it's an idea, it's a web building, so they build an instant web page. Then they come back, they do their presentations, and you use Poll Everywhere so the class evaluates it. In class, an hour and 15-minute class, not necessarily distance learning class. So mobile is part of our culture. I grew up in the plumbing business, so I use a lot of plumbing metaphors, building metaphors. So your first approach, you need to have a plan. You need to find where you're going. You got to know where you're going so you know it when you get there. And training. How many times I've been in higher ed for 30 years, started out pushing AD carts up and down the hall. That was educational technology. Bring in the technology, get the money, no money for training. And then assessment. How do you know you did what you did? So what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? How do you know you did it? We've been talking about anytime, anywhere learning forever. And it really isn't true. Because even with our online courses in the beginning, you had to be in front of that gray box at your desk at home. And even with mobile, you still had to, you were limited, tethered to accessibility. Now we really do have anytime, anywhere learning. And it's going to change the whole dynamics. We'll go past this for the sake of time. So here's some of the challenges. Where do we get the apps? There's a lot of apps out there. Faculty development and support. You can hear some of the things that Robbie's been doing. How do you know they're any good? Just like any other OER, EIEIO out there. How do you know it's any good? Unlike campus computing, hardware is a major issue in the mobile environment. I don't need to explain that. You saw it today. I have Apple devices. I've got apps that don't work on some. Some work on my phone that don't work on my tablet. And the policies and the administrative part. We'll talk a little bit about that. And maybe just someday we can catch up to our students. Okay. A lot of places are resources for apps, but now maybe in your iPhone, you go to the iTunes, but we think, certainly from an educator's point of view, iTunes is becoming the Google of apps. You want an open resource, you go to Google, hit DNA, you get 1 million responses, 999,995, which are useless, good enough, you could hunting. Well, that's kind of the way iTunes is getting. I did a DNA search in iTunes, and this was the first thing that came up. Dating. The dating app. The second thing that came up was, are we related? Okay, that's closer. It's not what I'm looking for because I'm teaching biology, but it's closer. And the third thing was a men's magazine out of Australia. So you can see the problem as an educator looking for apps. Whereas if you went to MERLOT, you would do a search and you would get 6 apps, but they're all 6 something you can use. And now you've got something to work with. And you've gone through the process of quality assurance to get here. It's part of what we're doing behind the scenes. And there are a heck of a lot of apps. How many of you have the pleasure of subscribing to Robbie's listserv? Every couple days, you'll get an email with 30 of these in them, and these aren't apps, these are collections of apps. 25 for, grade school English, and so on. That's a lot to go through, and it starts to get very intimidating very quickly. So there are some rubrics. We're working on a rubric. We're working on a triage process, because it's a little different than OER. How many apps do you get a week?
A week?
Yeah.
How about a day?
How about a day?
A day, I say I'm sent at least 20 to 25 apps per day.
So all of those are coming in just to TBR. So even if that was your own source, all of them are coming in. How do we sort them out? How do we get the good from the not so good? How do we get them into the disciplines? That's which ones should go to MERLOT for further review and in the kind of in the display for the really good ones. That's the process that we have in place, a multi-level triage to make that happen. So the end product will be, and very soon, you'll get an RSS feed. If you're a biology teacher, you'll get the best RSS feed. This app will come sent to you after we've done all the laundry.
Thank you.
Yay!
Oh, okay, yeah. That's what, the partnership that's evolving and working on. And briefly, do you know the difference between a native app and a mobile app? You know what a QR code is? I won't go online because we're moving quickly. But if you go into MERLOT, how many know what MERLOT is? Excellent. Every piece of content in MERLOT has a QR code in it. Hit the QR code with your phone, your iPad, your Lenovo tablet, you now have a mobile app. It may need to be connected to the internet, but really now with wireless and 3G and stuff like that, 4G, that's not such a concern anymore. Tomorrow will be even less so. So really all 40,000 pieces of content in MERLOT can be mobile apps. Anything you find in there can be a mobile app.
Free mobile apps.
Free mobile apps. And of course, you're going to implement this. There's going to be questions.
Hi, can I answer any questions?
What the heck's the difference between all these phones? Windows or Android? What's LTE? Is it contagious? Which one suits my face? Do you make commissions? Which one has a touch screen? Which one has a touchy-feely screen? Is this considered touching? What's the cloud? Where is the cloud? Are we in the cloud now? How many megapixels does one person really need? What makes a smart TV so smart? Whoa, 3D. Whoa, what if I break it? Do you install? Do you deliver? Are these noise canceling? No, I mean, do you deliver? So what's the difference between an e-reader and a tablet? Between a tablet and this thing? Which one is the most vibratiest? Can this transfer all my pictures of puppies dressed up like hot dogs? Sure. Can I use a dongle with this? Does it make you uncomfortable to use the word dongle? Can I connect it to my TV? Can I connect these to my phone so I look dope when I call my peeps? You want to invite your hero a little bit? Why am I so awesome? Really, am I allowed here?
Okay. Faculty development. And this is not always as obvious as it seems. Okay, I've got some things that are rolling out. Take a close look at that picture. I travel a lot. One of the fortunate things in my life. And we had a couple of days in Ireland, rented a car, opened the passenger side door, and this is what I saw.
It's in the middle?
No, you're driving on the right-hand side, and look where the stick shift is. You're shifting with the left. Think that through, folks.
It's not that hard.
Think that through. So even the obvious stuff isn't necessarily so obvious. Here's the link for mobile. Again, we won't go there necessarily right now. Hardware, as we mentioned before, is an issue more so than it was with desktop computing. Robbie has a rubric for that. We have a rubric to evaluate software and apps. She has one for hardware too, that you can use to help you sort that out. As management and implementation, you need to develop policies. Your policies should be intent. They should not be by chance, or by fortuitous. Whoa.
All heed! The Lord Jehovah, has given unto you these 10 commandments for all to obey.
Your policy should be by design, not by chance. It shouldn't be the last thing to get put in place. You've heard me speak. You've heard me say it any number of times. We're all one lawsuit away from accessibility being the most important thing on our desk. Yep. And you are one phone call away from the lawsuit. One phone call to Office of Civil Rights and they're coming. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's an automatic. So just like on campus, you've certainly got to continue to consider accessibility. I really can't drive that home enough. And with all the barriers, but you've seen the demonstrations with Robbie, not just the technical ones, but social context and inside and outside classroom. So, okay, we could just dabble. I think this is a good idea. I'm the instructional designer. I'm the fired up faculty person. But this is what will happen. You'll have some apps. You'll find them. There may or may not be faculty development. Whose job is that anyway? Hardware, very often will come out of a special project. You got a grant, so you now have 16 iPads on a cart or something like that. And it's a very local, small project. You don't need a plan. If you're going to implement mobile, you need plans. They really have to all be separate. A business plan with several options for funding, A, B, and a C choice. The strategic plan. Faculty development is not part of the strategic plan, it's part of its own plan. You can see how complex this can be. How do I know this? This is what Robbie did. This is how she made it work, and this is how, and we were part of it. We all watched it grow, and this is the thing. And probably, I think Robbie would agree to me, and you probably would too, the hardest one is the last one. How do you assessment and evaluate? How do you measure this? And measure in meaningful ways and in ways that your accreditation people will appreciate. I don't know if I'm going forward or backwards here. This is why I don't use Macs.
I can help you, Tim.
I'll be here. I'm good. We're almost there. Okay. Stakeholder buy-in is the key. And if I were to suggest one place where your plan will go off the rails first, that's it. You didn't get everybody involved. Nothing more needs to be stated than what Robbie's, one of her early statements. The first thing she does is buy a piece of equipment for IT. Not only is it really critical, but you can see the value of that. Everybody, get the stakeholders involved, get the buy-in, make it part of everybody's project. And if you can tie it to an existing project already, such as the need to reduce costs, or instructional costs, or development costs, those things, make it even better. Don't forget the ongoing maintenance. Just because you bought it this year doesn't mean you're done with it. So the business plan has to be pretty significant. And here's some of the key components, especially for technology and faculty development plans. You need to evaluate the hardware as much as the teaching effectiveness and the pedagogy. It's a little more complicated this time around. So here's some of the things that you'll need to think about. Listen to the feedback. Listen to what people are telling you and respond. Says, I told you I was sick. That's on his gravestone. Okay. And last thing, just to really drive home the point one more time. This isn't a mobile video. This is to drive the point of this is happening and we need to be a part of this. And I wouldn't say you'll get run over by an locomotive. That's a little dramatic. But you don't want to be left at the station. Here we are. And it's about Windows 8. And I'll narrate just a little because it's a finished commercial, so you won't understand. You want some help with Windows 8, and you said, okay, I'll go get my colleague who's the expert. That's the expert. And we lost audio, that's fine, because it's in Finnish anyway. And he walks him through, and this goes on. And again, we were running out of time. And at the end, the person asks him about memory. And little kid goes, I don't know. Let me go get the expert. And the expert's his sister, who's a year older. The point is, this is happening. This is the future. These are our new students. And we need to embrace this and make it part of our culture, not part of also what we do. So in summary, these are the key components of institutional change if you really want to make transformative change. And don't know if we have time for a break. I think Robbie talked me a break.
Well, we're ending early.
Yeah.
Okay, but questions. Now, this is your time. Questions? Because I have a point that I need to make. And I'm going to bring up mine. We always wonder, and where's my video? We always wonder, is there a balance? Are we going to get rid of paper and will mobilization just take over? Well, let me just share with you a little video as soon as I find out where my PowerPoint.
Go to file open.
Go to file, most recent.
Okay. Okay, there you go. And most recent. And move it. I'm going to end with this note for Robbie, and then you take.
What are your apps? What are your favorite apps? And do some sharing that we did.
And by the way, on the PowerPoint, I have for you all of your apps that are your top apps for, hello? All right, Tim? It's an Apple, I know. And I do have, and I'll go to the next one. I have apps for administrators. I have apps for teachers. Here we go, life is good. Here are all of your apps. I even have a live binder. I have your top 10 apps for administrators. I have your top 10 apps for teaching. I also have what we're doing, but I'm going to leave you with this.
Emma. 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 Emma.
Life is good. Let's have your questions. Yes.
Funding, where are you getting the money for all this?
Well, you know, we're from Tennessee. We are the richest state in the nation.
Only slightly below that.
Okay. All right, where are we getting the funding? I was able to go to my chancellor and to the administrators and say, if we make a mistake, it's going to cost us $50,000. In other words, if every one of our campuses wanted a certain Android, I'm a big on Android, and we purchase and we find out it's worthless, we have lost $30,000 to $50,000. I can save the system millions, and I was able to give them a business plan, as Tim indicated, and shared with him. I also said one of our top goals, and I looked at our strategic plan, retention, graduation rates, and whatever, and I aligned what we can do. Bottom line, everyone, a lot of this donated. When these companies know that you have a strategic plan, and it doesn't have to be a system level, it could be a campus level. Call them up and say, we have a strategic plan. You'll be surprised. They send you apps, they send you devices. In fact, Dell sent us 5 of those Dell's XPSs. So here's how you save money. You declare certain, what I call technology days. On December the 5th of this year, we're having a Dell Day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's free because you don't have to pay them. They come out, and we said bring out all your latest and greatest devices. They bring them out. It's better than Best Buy. And some of them will even bring food. And so that way, you have it strategically. It's not going to cost you. And then they usually leave, you know, things for you to test out. Are you all working with me here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Robbie, I want one of those.
Dell Day, December the 5th. Apple, I mean, all of these companies, just like this particular one I gave you, the app isn't even out yet, but they were looking for testers. So again, you don't have to be rich like Tennessee. You just know how to bake. Okay? And have a plan. Yes?
How do we do on your listserv?
Well, okay. The website. Oh, Tim, let's bring up the website. You know how to use an Apple? Okay. Hit Safari, click out of PowerPoint, hit Safari, and I have a website. And I created it, so that tells you a lot about, you know, the functions. Okay? But on the website, there is a tab.
Yeah.
They'll get it.
Do you want the TBR one?
Yes, it's called www.tbrmobile.org. Even though it's going to change to something else, that's all you have to type in, tbrmobile.org. And, tbrmobile.org. It didn't go to tbrmobile.org? And just hit search, www, way up there. Yeah, forget Google. www.tbrmobile.org. I have everything you ever wanted to know. Write a dissertation, write a book. You ever want to know about any mobile devices. Again, like Tim said, yeah, you register. Oh boy. But look at me right here. If you're on that list and I call you up, Or you get an email and it says, stop what you're doing now. Move your car over, put the baby down, download this app because we only got 1 hour to do it. That means I got big time apps coming up. Like what? Look at me. How many of you have an iPad? How many of you have heard of an iPad? Wouldn't you love to have not one, not two, but 3, 4 browsers open on that iPad at one time? Who would like that? It's free right now, free. It's called Quad, Q-U-A-D, Quad browser. Quad browser. Get the light one. Don't pay for it yet. The light one. You can have 4 of them. How many would like to have a browser open where you can even take notes on right next to it? You like that?
Yeah.
Split note. Split note. Are they still on there? Oh, there it is. That's it. Oh, the reason why you're seeing all that, I was trying to update it. But if you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see an app center. We have collected over 50,000 plus apps. Hey, a little bit, okay, no, little up. Okay, right there. Now, don't leave yet. It's not over. If you click on app use, I set it up. Because wouldn't you like to know what you want to use the apps for? Do you want to teach with them, learn with them, work for us? You just want to have a good time. All right, so you go there, let's hit teaching. And then you click mobile device of choices. They come out every day. So you see iPad 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Android, Samsung, Google Chrome, even laptops. And then on the bottom it said, and devices to come. So let's do iPad 1 or 2. And then you click on your discipline levels. We have 125, from preschool to PhD to workforce development. So let's click art. And now educational level, let's hit middle school. I don't know. And then the others are optional. And if you hit apply, a bank of apps with those variables will come up. So you don't have to start looking all over. It doesn't matter the device. Now what Tim was sharing with you all, the day this happened, I'm going to retire. Look at me. Mark that down. Record me. I want it to be where you go to that website only one time in your life. Just one time. And then you put in your variable. What variable? I have a Windows machine. I'm teaching nuclear physics for preschoolers. Okay? And then a bank of apps hitting those variables will come up so that you can take your preschoolers with that Windows and teach nuclear physics. And you won't have to look with it. You will get an email to say, here are the apps with those categories. And for the rest of your life, you just get apps. You can sit back and apps will come to you in your discipline on your device. Wouldn't you like that? Well, it doesn't sound like rocket scientist to me, but I cannot get my webmaster because he said if we do that, then they won't come back to your site. And we cannot prove that your site is worthwhile. So some of you got to come back just because. But that will be ready. Listen, Tim, that will be ready in the spring. And when it works, you can have my job. I'm 62 and I'm tired. Right, Judy?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Other
Same
questions?
runs, so does Robbie.
Other questions? No question? Yes. You're good. I have one and then yes.
I have a very loaded question.
Oh, yeah.
I was very late getting in here, so you may have already talked about this.
Maybe not.
How do you, what are your best practices for integration of mobile learning in courses? So if I'm designing.
We didn't have that one. I'm glad.
Okay.
Look at me. I have issues. I have a whole lot of issues. I call names, D2L. I called them up and I told them 3 years ago, look, mobile's coming, get ready. I called Pearson. If you hear from Pearson, I'm going to call names. Pearson, McGraw-Hill, Cengage, and I kept telling them, look, we're going mobile, and what I don't want are for you to give me a hardback book that's turned in a PDF, then you send it over to me, and then I put it on a mobile device. I want sensory. I want dynamic. Okay? So right now, D2L, right, Judy, is supposed to have a mobile solution where they integrate now these apps. Now, Apple, you have your iBook. Now, watch me, because I know my vowels. A-E-I-O-U. We got to have a standard platform. I have wonderful iBooks. They're dynamic. I mean, they're creative, but I can't put them on the Androids. Androids, shake your head. Windows, forget you all. Blackberries don't even say anything. Okay, I can't even put these books on those. What's wrong with us? You know what's wrong? Educators have not stood up and said, we're going to stop this. If we have a dynamic app, it should go on all devices. That's why you have something called web-based apps. Okay, all right, it's Friday. I'm tired. Okay, you hit me with a loaded question. Okay, I couldn't clean it. Okay, but that's what's going to happen.
Well, where I'm coming from, just to give you context, is I'm from Quality Matters, and we're working on our next version of the rubric, and this is one of the things that we're working on. How do we put into the rubric? How do we address these mobile devices so that if you're using something, if you're doing course design, what are those best practices for mobile learning?
And
that's what I'm doing.
I have it on the website.
Okay.
Somewhere on that website is a whole link, and you can have, by the way, I'm an educator. Anything you see on that website, you can have. Put your name on it. I don't care. Congratulations. We have a whole group. If you scroll down, Tim, go down. Tim, go all the way down. Tim, it's a whole group. Yes, Tim, keep going. Go down, Tim. Hold, Tim, come back. Tim, come back. Up, Tim. Up, 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 up. Hold, right there.
Oh, okay.
Device justification. All these forms, modify them for yourself. Mobilization apps rubric. Would you click on that? It takes an ADA. Now, to me, it's too long. Modify it. It's yours. It's my gift to you. It has everything. I've researched this to death. Even use some of your stuff. I gave you credit.
Well, that's what we, because we don't have that expertise, so thank you.
Okay, can you click on it? Tim, that's not supposed to come up. Go down, Tim, go down. Hit rubrics. Right here, Tim. No, you were fine, Tim. But just trust me, click on it. It works like it's.
I got your URL.
All right, any other questions? Yes.
So are you giving these devices to the students, or are these students coming with their own?
No, students come with their own. They have better devices than we do.
So you're just collecting these so you can test them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was over in Africa. They didn't have water. They didn't have, listen, they was on the streets. Robbie can say this. But they had a Samsung S4. Help me to understand that. Who they call it? Okay, help me with that. When you want to go to water and food, Maslow, higher up, okay? No, they got Samsungs, okay? So we were over there teaching them how to use it for educational purposes. Okay, yes.
Robbie.
Yes, I'm sorry.
When Robbie said that she set up through the TDR, the mobilization. Then each campus set up a person for mobilization
Yes.
that works
Thank you, Judy.
with academic affairs, with IT, with distance ed, all of them together. And so there's now a person designated on most of the campuses that I know of in the TDR system. And so
Even our board members.
Yes, and so the best practices come out of that, and they work together. And so when Robbie sends something new down to the IT person, they work with the mobilization person who isn't usually a faculty member, and therefore has the teaching kudos from the rest of the faculty.
And going about 4 questions back, because that's my Apple Mac speed. MERLOT, one of our outcomes with our partnership with TBR, is a mobile learning portal. So if you went to MERLOT.org and then communities and mobile learning, you would get this, where there's already a collection of how to teach mobile pedagogy, how to find mobile apps, how to find the mobile apps that have already gone through the MERLOT. So we have this mobile portal that's already working towards that, how to teach with mobile apps. Learn about mobile learning will bring up apps about teaching and so on.
So before you all go, someone should ask about some apps outside of education.
What about some apps outside of it?
Oh, I got some things for that. Oh, wow. Okay, if you're on a diet. I have an app that you take your device to hold it over your food, and it will let you know the calories. Yeah. It's a little quirky. I'm glad it doesn't work. Okay, are you working with me? Okay. All right, but that technology is out there. Okay, you out there, you're an ad, okay, and you see a tree, a live tree, it has to be live. You take the mobile device, you hold it over the tree, it'll let you know what the tree is, how many ants and all of that, okay? I'm not into that. I got some crazier apps. I have some apps. By the way, I work with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigators, like TBI, FBI, but there are some weird apps out there. One that we have removed called Get Me a Woman, okay?
Get me a woman?
Not just a woman, a woman, okay?
Don't give me a man.
I didn't have that. It was only Get Me a Woman, not a woman, a woman. Now, let me tell you about this app, because this is how this technology, this guy who created it, I call him, he was able to hook up from Facebook. And if you indicated that you were under 30, sorry for those over 30, and female, single, or whatever, because you know a lot of people put all their business.
Yeah.
Then he hooked it up with Google Maps to your home.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. So when I find apps like that, please know I call in. Okay, there was one app that we suspected would cause seizure for those who are prone to it. It's called head coupling. Check this app out. You hold the device in front of you, and it will give you splashes. Yeah, but then you have to move your neck like this, and it'll give you this psychedelic, I'm high feeling or whatever, and I'm concerned. Yeah. Number 2, I should have my iPad hooked up. This one took me to the top. This one, by the way, I work with TBI on this, is how to smoke weed off your iPad.
We're in Colorado.
Oh. I guess we need to go home, Judy. We need to go home. I need to bring that up. It teaches you how to roll it, okay? And you actually have to roll it, and it's an art to it. Maybe you all know. Okay?
Colorado, you call your friend, not TBI.
Well, this app takes you to the whole step. You roll it, and then you take your little device, and it teaches you how to puff, move over, I don't know. But you have to actually suck in on the iPad. No, if you think I'm kidding, I'll bring that app up.
I have people on the street corner that will show you.
That's what he said, there's no pay for that. That one better be
Device, you just sit up there, you know, and then they even have a link that if you need a medical reason or statement, they have a list of doctors that you go to. And then once you get your statement, seriously, it's right there. I'm not kidding you. It shares with you where to go to get the weed. We live in Tennessee. That's a little illegal.
There you go.
My last.
There's a school here that teaches you how to start a business.
See, this is when you know your workshop is over. Not to put this down on the evaluation. Yeah, we can learn how to, give me that app. And did you see no one raise their hand like, I want that app, because you know this is being taped, okay?
Colorado has nothing on California. We have Mendocino that's institute for marijuana studies.
And that's where a lot of the locations are, by the way, because I had to track them down.
Yeah.
Well, my last gadget, which I thought was, I don't have a dog or parrot or any of that, so you got to work with me, forgive me. I have a device, which I'm surprised I don't have up here, is where you put the little collar on your doggy, catty, whatever, I don't know, and you can talk to your dog, and your dog can bark back. Okay, and see?
I want that. My dog is just probably very sad because I am not home.
Well, guess what? We got the collar. Okay? You speak in there, Lassie, come home, keep her back, and y'all can carry on, and life is good. Okay? So, as we end this workshop, so you all can go back and puff and you know. On behalf of my co-presenters and my tech support, I want to thank Judy and Tim, and again, okay? And you'll see on that website, not on that one, there's a link for testers. And on behalf of IT, we are paying for an IT team, eat your heart out, all paid trip to the Consumer Electronics Show this January. You know they love me. So that they can see and witness the new technology. So they are proactive. So that they can have a week in Vegas free and life is good. So we thank you. We hope you app out. And Kim, you have any? Oh, good for the order. And get. Hey, didn't we have a good time? Yeah. Hey, and I'm free, you all. I'm free. I can go to the airport. I don't think it's free on me.
We have our information up front, so no shortage at once. We can continue this conversation. It's an ongoing conversation, not a terminal workshop.